taking a look at something interesting that the Ruotolo brothers were doing to defend the lumberjack sweep at Who's Number One. So first, we're just going to look at an example of the lumberjack sweep and the standard way, you know, if you do fall down or if it is going to happen, how you would defend in the standard way. And this is from this event, the Who's Number One. And Pato has posted on his arm. Okay, this is to stop himself falling down completely. And in doing so, Cisneros here is able to lift his hips and shoot up into a triangle choke, which was eventually defended. And we'll see how the way the Ruotolos do it is different to this. So looking here, you'll see first off the action of the lumberjack sweep by Micah Galvao, and he really gives the leg a bit of a knock. It's not just like grab the ankle and push into them with your hips. It's like he's taking the base of the foot out towards him as opposed to pushing the knee over the top of the foot. So you'll see from here, he's gonna like kind of chop at the leg and pull it in. And so we're in this same scenario now, similar to where Pato got caught in the triangle, and there's a chance here for Ruotolo to post, and I believe he will post, but if you watch what he does with his hips, he's actually gonna step over the top and face downwards. And not only does that prevent him getting swept in the same way, but to me, this actually puts him in a pretty good spot. So from here, it's a bit of a scramble, and Micah almost comes up on top, but I also think from this position, you could absolutely take advantage of the scramble too and end up in a good position based off the lumberjack sweep. So you can see as he turns out, Micah chases the single leg and Tai Ruotolo spins out. So watching this again, Tai stands up, Micah's gonna work his hips up and then chop the leg, and then Tai steps over the top and scrambles free to prevent that lumberjack sweep. So now watching, here's Pato again, but this time on the bottom, and he's doing the lumberjack sweep, and he's gonna be attacking Cade Ruotolo this time. And you'll see here, similar sort of thing. He really works to connect his hands and pull the foot in towards him as he bumps his hips. So he gets his hips into the leg, pulls forward, and notice as Cade is falling down, he's gonna step over the top, all right? And that, Pato actually follows up this really well with a berimbolo attempt, but it certainly gets Cade out of the initial sweep attempt and back into top position. So the standard response to a lumberjack sweep is as Mile underhooks the leg, usually it's like popping the hips forward, turning the angle, so it's hard to get my knee turned outwards to kind of tilt me over the top of that leg. But some guys are quite good at chopping you down from here. And usually the response to that is Mile chops me down and I post on my hand here to stop myself falling under and landing in mount. If I don't post, I go down here, then Mile's gonna come up in towards mount, and I'm gonna have a huge problem. So the standard response is usually to post on the mat, and then I'm in a little bit of a predicament because I need to stop Mile coming up anyway, and I'm gonna be using this hand usually. And that leaves me vulnerable to the armbar or the triangle. That's what we saw Cisneros hit on Pato, where he shoots this leg over the top for the triangle, and then you're having to deal with that. It's very hard because I have to post on this hand. I can't really have two arms preventing that. The solution the Ruotolos have really gets rid of that by stepping the leg over the top. There's now no risk of having the triangle choke or the armbar here, and potentially this could turn into a really good situation for the passer. So the way the Ruotolos dealt with this, we'll first look at Cade. Cade was very early against Pato as soon as he realized that he was going to be getting swept or getting tilted back, he jumped off his right leg to step over from standing. Okay, so this, to me, this feels a little more risky for my own legs, but from here, as Mile goes for it, he's jumping, stepping over, and landing over the top here. And that's caused Pato to basically, like, can you kind of invert through, Mile? This way? Yeah. Pato's kind of inverted through and almost landed in a berimbolo scenario. Tai was probably slightly later through the stage of the sweep. As he was getting knocked down, you'll see he's starting to reach his hand down to the mat and then pushing off his back leg, his right leg here, to jump over the top here. And he actually landed more in this like, almost like a Boston crab style position, which I really think I think this is a better scramble for the person on top than the bottom. It just so happened that keep hold of my leg, and Mika started to stand up with that leg, okay, as he got up. But I think if we go back, equally, you could foresee scenarios where the person on top could like backstep into a crucifix or attack a reverse triangle. There's a lot of things. Levi Jones Leary actually has a really good system around this kind of, he calls it the Xanadu, this position. So I think this step over can get you into a really good position on top, and at the very least, it's going to stop you getting swept. So that's a solution that I found quite interesting. It's certainly not how I would normally have approached dealing with the lumberjack sweep, but I'll be trying that out in training.